Hi, how you guys doing? My name's Rohair. This is my first video on YouTube. Rohair is a nickname given to me by my best friend. It was just a nickname she gave me, just a variation on my name. It can be viewed as weird. Some people think it's weird, but it's honestly not the weirdest screen name I've ever had. Because I remember when I was a kid, I was about 10 years old. I was obsessed with this game called Chrono Cross, which was a sequel to the game Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo. And the game was pretty awesome. I still play it because I'm a loser. So the main character in this game is Surge, and he's like the ultimate badass, and the story's all about him. So I took after him, and I was like, oh yeah, he's cool. And I took that, and then I was also obsessed with the WWE at the time. And there are these two guys on there that were like rock and roll wrestlers, and they were like all heavy metal with like dyed purple hair, dreadlocks, like pantyhose linens, and they do like this thing or whatever, and like do like crazy shit. And I was like so obsessed with them because I thought WWE was the shit, and in no way was it gay at all at the time. But now in retrospect, yeah, it's pretty fucking gay. But so anyway, I took Surge, and I took the Hardy Boys, or Brothers, or whatever. Not the Hardy Boys. Well, that's even more gay. But the Hardy Brothers, or Bros, and I put them together, and it was Surge Hardy 10. And to the ear, it just doesn't hit the ear right, because you hear Surge, which just sounds like surging, and then you hear Hardy, which sounds really too close to the word hard on. So it's just like, there's got to be something perverted going on there. There's no way a 10-year-old kid can innocently make this up. But there's some retarded kids out there like this guy, and yeah, I wasn't really accustomed to the internet world, so my first, introduction to it was, 50, like, guys a day emailing me, thinking I was loose, asking me to, like, swivel my cock in their asshole or something like that. But anyway, I switched from Surge Hardy 10 to Brian Fellow 27, which was a skit from Saturday Night Live, with some black guy who I forget his name, but he's funny and crazy, and he's on 30 Rock now. But he played Brian Fellow. He was like a 6-year-old, like a zoologist or whatever, who was like really dumb, and he wore like lip gloss or whatever, and it was hilarious. And I used that as my screen name, and all my friends had it, and I would whenever I told somebody what it would be, what my screen name was, they would look at me perplexed, because when you're 12, nobody really watches Saturday Night Live or Law and Order, which aren't really shows for kids that age anyway. They're supposed to be watching all that, or Keenan and Kel, whatever was the shit back then. And so nobody really got it, and that furthered my status as an outcast from all forms of society. And anyway, but I think the best weird screen name I had was probably Hot Roger 06 at yahoo.com. And as you can tell, in my present state, I am not that hot, other than maybe temperature-wise, but that's about it. With the hair and the whole Down syndrome look and everything, and the gigantic front teeth, it's not really working out. Hot wouldn't be a word that somebody would use to describe me necessarily, but I thought it was funny, because to me it was a joke. I wasn't saying I was hot. I took the idea that I was indeed not hot, and back then I had a total bowl cut, which isn't this, whatever this is. It just came out to here and then just went straight in, and my head just looked like the biggest dick, which really would have got along great with my Surge Hardy screen name, because just the image of a dick and then a name pertaining to a raging bitch splitting boner or whatever, it would have gone along well. And I had the bowl cut, and I had this 20-inch overbite, instead of it just coming out like right here after like 5 years of braces and like the jaws of life bringing my my teeth forward, and it was like out to here, and I was like confused for a British guy quite often. So when I made that screen name, it was for the church youth group that I was in at the time, because somebody thought that, you know, our church youth group needed a group online that could give us, or some place online that could give us minute by minute, moment by moment, you know, updates of what was going on in the youth group, and youth group news like, oh, big coffee banquet, pancake sale on Sunday, total blowout, free trinkets and little things that say number one Christ worshiper or whatever. And so I had to make this account, and everybody in the youth group knew me as kind of a jokester or whatever. And so I couldn't let that reputation, you know, just fall through. I had to live up to it. So I, given my horrible, disgusting looking state at the time, I made Hot Roger 06 as a joke. And it's a joke to me because I know that I'm not hot, and I acknowledge in my own mind that I'm not hot, and I think it's a joke. But other people don't understand that I realize I'm not hot, so they think I'm just being pompous, and there'd be mixed reactions to that, like, oh, Hot Roger 06, good for you, keep hanging in there, buddy, keep fighting the fight. And then, you know, other people would just be like, who the fuck is this guy thinking he's hot or whatever, he's a pompous asshole, you know, really mixed opinions about it. And there's never really the one I want where, you know, somebody would just laugh at it. But that's about, like, all the bad screen names I've had. It's just like, I can't really pick out a good one, and all the ones I wanted to go with just Roger, simply Roger. And that was taken. I don't know by who, but I don't know if he's, you know, doing a whole bunch of shit online or whatever. Like, you know, if he's gonna be the next Fred, or the next Lonely Girl 15 or whatever, or Hot for Words, I don't know. And so that asshole took my name, and so I had to think of, you know, nicknames, and I didn't want to, you know, put all my shitty nicknames and just, you know, keep going, you know, go 4 for 4 on this one with the shitty screen names, and just be like, Roger Rabbit, everybody'll think that's funny. And it, you know, if it wasn't funny in high school when people called me that for, you know, my insanely rabbit-looking features, and the fact that my name was Roger, it went together really well. But anyway, I decided to go with, you know, a better, you know, variation of my name. So Rohair worked. There was, you know, Raha, Raja, or whatever. But anyway, Rohair works. That's me. I'm just a dude living here. Thanks for listening.